This is now the 5-minute tarot for the 8th of February 2017. And this is like a continuation of yesterday in that I mentioned then Tony Hsieh's Delivering Happiness and there being 4 pillars. The second one we're going to look at is that he explains that if you feel as if you're in control, you're going to be happy. So that if you feel as if you're not in control, then you're going to be unhappy. So my question is, or the question I was thinking was, what do I do so that I feel as if I'm in control? And I pick a card at random. And every card could answer that same question, right? So it's not like this is the only answer to that particular question. It's a test, or it's an exercise to get us thinking, not so much what does a card mean, but what sense does it make as part of the answer, or as the answer to the question that was asked. So the question is, what do I do, or how do I behave so that I feel as if I'm in control? And the card I get is this Page of Cups, right? So a couple of things about this one. One is, we know that, I was taught, and I'm saying that pages represent young people. Kings and queens are obviously older, and the page is a young person. May or may not be a member of the royal family. That doesn't really matter. In terms of age. So how can you feel as if you're in charge? Or how can you feel as if you're in control? And so act like a young person. Don't act like somebody who knows all the answers, or who already has the answers, or who assumes that because they've been through this situation, they've got a bit of experience, that they know what's going on, or that they can be trusted to give good advice. You're better off. You're going to have a greater sense of control if you can look at yourself as being young and youthful, and probably because you're not set in your ways, and because you don't think that you know the answer, you're probably flexible. So you'll take in information that's given and you'll think it through, and then you'll make a decision, instead of the older person who you tell them what the situation is and they immediately know, okay, this is what we're going to do, because they think they recognize what's going on. But the page is more thoughtful and more patient and more slow, I think, in that they recognize they're not that experienced. They may have some experience, but they know that there's always more to learn, that there's always more information that can come in. So they're flexible in their response. So if the question is, how do I feel as if I'm in control? First, or one part of the answer is, be flexible. And the other thing is, if you look at this card, right, we've got the fellow, he's holding a cup, because it's the Page of Cups, but there's a fish looking out of the cup. So what does this mean? If you look behind him and you see there's the ocean behind him. And it's as if what the page did was he took his cup and he scooped it into the water, which is a natural thing to do because cups hold fluid and there's the ocean behind him. So it's as if he scooped his cup into the water, and instead of just having salt water, or maybe it's a lake, fresh water in his cup, there's a fish that naturally belongs in the water. So it's a bit like, how do you feel as if you're in control? You do what you do, but realize that you've actually got more than you think you have. So the page scoops up some water and discovers there's a fish. So he thinks he's getting water, but he's actually getting something much more than he maybe intended, or more than he thought he was getting, because there's a fish in the cup and not just liquid. So when you're thinking you don't have control, look again at the situation and find out or discover what more is there actually than you thought was there at your first impression. because there's more in the situation than you saw in the beginning, and there are certain things in the condition or the situation or that you're dealing with that will actually that you can use to turn it to your advantage, or to get a benefit, or to get control back. You're not as helpless as you think you are. Tomorrow, we're going to look at the Ace of Batons in the light of some questions that somebody asked me. So that's it for the moment. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.